If you had to grow your painting business in the next 90 days, what would you do? What's going on, guys? Lucas Jensen here, and today I have a really unique and special video for you. Last week, just on Wednesday, we had a special guest who covered the coaching call for all of our clients. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Lucas Jensen, and I run a marketing agency specifically for painters called Forward Media Marketing. Now, part of what we do is, of course, lead generation, but part of that is just building the community together and helping you grow your painting business. So what we've incorporated is we have a weekly coaching call every Wednesday with 2 of our clients, but also 2 of our coaches. So on this last Wednesday, we had a special guest who is going to be hosting and coaching the call. His name is Tom Reber. Tom owns a coaching business called the Contractor Fight. It has hundreds and hundreds of members and has a ton of value inside of it. So now the purpose of this video is I want to share with you 6 questions that Tom asked in our coaching call for all of our clients that truthfully got me thinking about my own business and got me thinking outside of the box. And by the end of this video, with these 6 questions, you're going to be able to take them, provide some critical thinking for your business that'll allow you to get more leads, get more sales, and truthfully grow your revenue. So the first question that Tom asked us is, if you had no other choice but to double your revenue in the next 90 days, what would you do? Now, the benefit of this question, and the reason this one really got me thinking, is if you had no other choice and you had, let's say, a gun to your head that said you have to double your business in the next 90 days, you would do whatever the heck it takes to grow. So what this got me thinking is, what are those action steps that need to be taken that I have not actually taken action on that would allow me to grow this business? Now, for your painting business, that could be things like hiring that sales rep, signing up with that CRM, running a new email marketing campaign. There's so much things and so many levers that you can pull for your painting business that will help you get more leads and sales and possibly lead to you doubling in the next 90. And the powerful part of that question is, if you had no other choice, you would make it happen. So that leads me to think of, why haven't you made it happen yet? So ask yourself, if you only had 90 days, 3 months from this point right here, right now, to double your business, what would you do? The second question that Tom asked our community is, if there was a client that was pissed off at you for whatever reason, what typically would that reason be? Now, the powerful part of that question is, if you're able to understand or recognize what would a client be pissed off about, then that just means that there's a bottleneck or a leak in your company that needs to be fixed. So whether that's a follow-up game, you're taking too long to respond to leads, or a timeline thing of you're promising the delivery of a job, but you just, you're not living up to those standards and you're just blowing out the proportion of the timeline that it takes to produce a job. Or it's just so many other different varieties that if you really think about it and you're able to just recognize that if a client was pissed off, then these things or this thing is the reason that they would likely be pissed off about. So now what you want to do with that is write that down and go fix that, so that that prevents the possibility of a client being pissed off. Now, you're not going to have every client being completely 100% happy. Obviously, there's going to be some outliers, but if you're recognizing that there's a pattern, you want to do whatever it takes to fix that pattern. Now, the third question that Tom asked our community at Forward Media Marketing on our coaching call last Wednesday was, if by doctor's prescription, you only had 30 minutes every single day to grow your business, what would you do within those 30 minutes? Now, obviously, with that question, you recognize that it is definitely very exaggerated because, a doctor's never going to prescribe you to only work 30 minutes a day on your business. But what that trains your mind to do is to dissect that if you did only have 30 minutes, what would you do and how would you spend that time? Because let's be honest, there's so many hours in a day, and every hour that you spend working on your business doesn't necessarily mean that it's a productive hour, but it's a quote unquote busy hour where you're doing the things that don't really push your business forward. So if you only had 30 minutes in a day to get your work done and build your business, what actions would you do within those 30 minutes? Now, after Tom asked that question to our community, his suggestion was, obviously, if you have a leadership team that helps you with the fulfillment side, so whether that's a production manager or a sales rep or whatever you have incorporated within your business, as long as they're in the leadership position, is to spend that 30 minutes focusing on the leadership team, right? Giving them the tasks that you need to have completed. Finish off this job, call this client, go back for touch-ups, things like that, right? That are going to propel your business forward and need to be done. But invest that time into coaching, and your leaders will do the work for you within that 30 minutes. So you are technically only working 30 minutes, but then outside of that 30 minutes, the time you invested into your leaderships is just expanding the business on the rest of the hours throughout the day. So ask yourself, if you only had 30 minutes tomorrow to build your business into the dream business that you want, what actions would you do? Now, for question number 4 that really got me thinking that Tom asked our community is, what friction points do you have within your sales process that could prevent a client from purchasing from you? And if you think about it, that's a beautiful question, because no business, unless you're Amazon, has a perfectly fluent and very consistent buying structure. So I'm sure that you've had opportunities that could have come your way, but that client reached a certain amount of friction that just prevented them from coming to you. And there is no right answer, but there definitely is certain frictions in your sales process that is preventing more opportunity from entering into your pipeline and converting into a customer. So if you think about it, I'm sure you're able to dissect where the bottleneck is in your whole sales process and what's preventing you from getting even more clients due to a certain level of friction that you have set up. Question number 5 is, what promises are you giving your clients but you're falling short of? This could be things like setting them up with a free color consultation. Of you're promising a color consultant come out to their house and help them out to choose a color, but when that color consultant comes, they kind of rush the whole process. Or if you're promising your clients a specific timeline of expected completion for a project and you're falling short of that and your guys are just taking too much time, then you're falling short of that promise and could lead to frustration. And while asking this question, Tom actually gave an example of a company that he's currently working with where they had a sales rep, and that sales rep was promised an iPad at the very beginning of him coming into the position. And the owner just over time kind of just lost the idea of, oh, I have to get him an iPad, and just got lost in a train of thought. And they were super frustrated because they just really wanted an iPad, and they ended up churning and leaving that company. So what that means is, if you make a promise, make sure to hold your team accountable and hold yourself accountable to it, because you don't know kind of what people are really enjoying about that overall promise. And if you don't deliver on that, then that could lead to frustration, churn, or just, preventing word of mouth from flowing for your painting business. And lastly, question number 6 is, what relationships are you currently neglecting that could help you build your business? So an example of this could be, if you're a painting business, it could be real estate agents, or it could even be, investing in the relationship that you have with your sales rep. If you were to spend more time investing in those relationships, what opportunities could come out of that? So if it's a real estate agent, if you were to invest into that relationship, they could put you on the list of first recommendation, which would then lead to you getting a lot more leads and a lot more opportunities coming your way just because you invest in the relationship. Or if it's in your sales rep, if you invested more time into your sales rep, what would that do on your actual overall company, but just your relationship with them? Would they put in some extra effort? Would they be willing to work extra hours? Would they work their leads that much harder? So ask yourself, is there a relationship that is currently out there that you are neglecting that could lead to your next $1 million in the next year? So there you have it. There are the 6 questions that Tom Reber asked our community at Ford Media Marketing during our last coaching call on Wednesday that I actually had to jot down myself, and really got me thinking, because of course I run a business, right? Just like you. And even though it's not the same business as you, it is still a business. So yes, this video is directed towards painting businesses, but it's also just directed in business in general. Those 6 questions, if you ask yourself and spend the time to reflect upon those questions and really write down some good answers, I think it would open up a ton of doors for you in order to scale your painting business or just your business in general. So just to thank you for your time and attention with me here today on this video, I want to give you the access to that coaching call, because there was a lot of good topics and a lot more value than just what I talked about on this video here today that I want to be able to provide for you. So if you're interested in getting full access to that recording and the meeting notes from the coaching call, I think there was about 60 or 70 minutes of the coaching call available, then click the link down below. It's going to be in the description of this video. You'll be able to click that, get free instant access, and listen to the video whether you want to watch it or just listen to it in the car. There's a ton of value that you're able to pull apart from it and apply to your painting business that could alleviate some bottlenecks for you. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like, comment, and share button, and I will see you guys in the next one.